Hey, what's going on, guys? Jerome Gaming here, back into the video. Today's episode, I'm going to make a quick video on Restoration Shaman weak auras. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. One thing I do want to say really quick is I did make a Restoration Shaman guide earlier in the season. Some of these weak auras are going to be from that video, but we do have like 3 new ones that are pretty cool. So if you did already watch my previous full guide on Restoration Shaman, you can still stick around to watch this one because we do have some new stuff in here. So everything will be available to import in the description of the video. And first one I'm going to go over here is the Shaman Elemental Shields. So previously I had 2 separate weak auras. I had a weak aura for Earth Shield. I had a separate weak aura for Water Shield. And this one weak aura kind of brings both of those together. And one thing that's really nice about it that the other one didn't have is it will kind of glow on the Earth Shield. So the last weak aura, it just kind of turned gray if an Earth Shield buff wasn't up, but having this glow effect is going to capture your attention more because Earth Shield is something we always want to have up at all times, right? So when that does fall off, that needs to catch our attention immediately so that we can apply that to ourselves or to our tank. We also have the same effect here for Water Shield, so just to kind of show you what that looks like, you can kind of see I don't have Earth Shield on myself or Water Shield, so we get the glow effect. And then once we do put Earth Shield on ourselves, and then we do put Water Shield on ourselves, you can kind of see, we can see the duration, number of charges, all the information that we need there. And another thing is, since I'm not in a group, it's not going to show the other Earth Shield charge over here. So I basically don't have an ally to put Earth Shield on. Now, while we are on the topic of buffs, I do have over here on the top left our Skyfury buff as well. And same sort of deal, it's going to be red with sort of the glowing icon. And I believe also once it starts to get low, so like the last minute or 2 remaining, I haven't tested it yet, but this is what it said in the description of the weak aura, is once the buff duration gets low, it will start to glow and remind you to refresh it before the buff actually does fall off. So when I press my Skyfury buff, you can see I got the duration here on the top left. Now, another weak aura that I want to talk about is going to be our Tidal Waves. So Tidal Waves, if you're not familiar with it, when you cast it, you get these 2 stacks of Tidal Waves, and then you can spin that. Let's just kind of read it out here. Cast time of your next healing wave or chain heals reduced by 20%. And then we also get increased critical effect chance of our next healing surge. So this is a very core part of playing Restoration Shaman. You want to stay on top of your charges, right? And you don't ever want to really be casting without Tidal Waves charges because you're basically just losing free healing that you'd get from these charges. So in our last guide, we had these little water bubbles that would kind of appear below your mouse. But the problem with that, especially if you're running something like Farseer, you can stack up to 4 stacks of Tidal Waves. And the weak aura I was using, I believe, was a Dragonflight weak aura, and it wasn't able to account for 4 stacks of Tidal Waves because that didn't exist in the game yet. So I decided to go ahead and just get a new weak aura that kind of updated. And it's pretty easy to track over here on the left-hand side, kind of next to your health bars. You can move this wherever you want. Might make more sense to put it, I don't know, maybe over here a little bit closer to your buffs. But you can kind of see as I start to heal, use my healing surges, you can see our Tidal Waves are starting to go lower and lower until we finally run out of charges. That tells us to cast Riptide again. Another one that we have that you've probably seen sort of in the middle of the screen here, what the heck is this blue bar? This is our Undulation tracker. And this is a really cool one because Undulation is going to be paired with your Primordial Wave. So if you're not familiar with what Undulation is, every 3rd healing wave or healing surge heals for an additional 50%. And by itself, it's pretty passive, right? You just sort of build up charges of this and then you expend them on your healing wave or healing surge. Where this becomes more important is we pair this with our Primordial Wave. So just to kind of read out Primordial Wave here, 30-second cooldown. So you will be pressing this button a lot in a dungeon. So blast your target with Primordial Wave, healing them for X amount and applying Riptide to them. Your next healing wave will also hit all targets affected by your Riptide for 40% of its normal healing. So our next Riptide, our next healing wave that we send out is going to heal all of our targets that have Riptide on them. So if we go back to Undulation here, every 3rd healing wave or healing surge heals for an additional 50%. So what we can do is we can pair this ability, Primordial Wave, with a 3 stack on Undulation, and we can get a huge sort of AoE spread heal. So this means all those targets that have Riptide on them are going to benefit from Undulation and get that 50% increased healing on them. So basically what this means is we need to track Undulation with our Primordial Wave. So how can we do that? So as we start to cast healing surges here, kind of watch our bar. It builds up to 3 charges. This means Undulation is ready. And this means that we can begin to pair that with our Primordial Wave. Now, one thing that's really cool about this weak aura is I'll just get another stack going. I'll restart it. Is once you actually do send out your Primordial Wave, this will turn green. And when it's green, that's just going to tell us, hey, the next healing surge that you send out is going to heal all the targets that have Riptide on them. And it's really nice to have this weak aura because this is almost a reminder to press your Primordial Wave. I always find myself forgetting to press it for some reason. And just being able to have this weak aura up here is really nice to just remind me to press Primordial Wave, track your Undulation stacks, you know, that sort of gameplay loop that can kind of easily be forgotten about. So again, just one more time, when it's blue, this doesn't mean anything. This just means you're building up charges. You build up a few healing surges. Okay, now you have a 3 stack of Undulation. So you can use it. It's yellow, so that means that you're not going to get the spread healing, but when you cast Primordial Wave, then it turns to green, saying, hey, you're going to heal all those targets with Riptide on them. So a really, really cool weak aura. I highly recommend to check this one out. Another one that we have here is Tidebringer. I've covered this one in previous videos, so I'm not going to spend much time on it really, but basically what this does is, I don't have it loaded because I'm running Farseer, but if you do run Totemic, this will just display a little box here, and this will keep track of your Tidebringer stack. So Tidebringer here, let's bring it up really quick. And then Tidebringer, every 10 seconds, the cast time of your next chain heal is reduced by 50%. So you can basically keep track of these charges so that you know when your next Tidebringer is going to be available to use. And really, you're going to be casting chain heals in line with your Tidebringer. So something, if you are running Totemic, really cool weak aura to have. Another one we have is Lazy Lust Reminder. And this is a really nice one to have because I'm always forgetting to press a Lust in Mythic Plus because I'm playing so many different healers. Every time I go back to Shaman or Evoker, I'm just like, oh yeah, I have this Lust ability. So really nice because it really grabs your attention. This will only pop up for the first like 5 seconds of the pull, then it will go away. So if you guys decide to hold your Lust to like phase 2 or whatever of the fight, you're not going to have this text like in the middle of your screen the whole fight. It's just simply a reminder. Okay, guys, pretty much going to be it for this video here. One other thing that I do want to mention is I made a video a couple weeks ago on this scroll wheel for Shaman totems. So feel free to check that video out if this is something you'd be interested in. Feel like a lot of people haven't seen this one yet. But this will really help with button bloat on Restoration Shaman. If you guys want to check out that video, it's on my channel. Just scroll back a week or two and you'll find it. It's called the Restoration Shaman button bloat video. I can't remember what I titled it, but check out that video. It's helped me out quite a bit. Then one other thing that I do want to mention is we did get our very first Patreon. So Juan, thank you so much for supporting our channel. And I know a lot of you guys support in other ways outside of Patreon. So thank you guys so much for, just supporting the channel, the advice you've given us over the past few weeks. And we've seen a ton of growth with this channel. So again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches these videos. One other thing that I did forget to mention here is I do have, this is for my Patreons only. And I set this up a while ago and I just kind of forgot about it. I do have a Google Sheet file. So if you do become a Patreon, you will get access to this. And it's just a list of all my weak auras, all my healing add-ons. It also has the individual specs and classes down here at the bottom. And it's going to go through all the weak auras, all the macros I have set up for each spec. So this will eventually be built out. We are building a website as well. This will be like a private link on the website at some point. I'm probably looking at another month or two until we get the website done. It is a ton of work to do that. However, right now we have it set up on a Google Sheet. It will suffice. You can copy and paste from this. It's a read-only file. I'll make a video on this. This might actually be my next video just to kind of get the word out there, but I just kind of wanted to drop that at the end of this video. If you do subscribe to Patreon, there are some benefits to it. So again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.